Alright, we back, man. Yo, you already know we do the shout-outs at the end of the video. Make sure y'all watch to the end of the video, see if I'm shouting y'all out. If y'all new to the channel, let me know in the comments where you watching from. Every video we do a shout-out to somebody and where they watching from. As you can see, New York starting to look a little more better, you know what I mean? It was raining early, it was mad cloudy, it's starting to look a little better. Let me know how I look where y'all at. Now, we gonna get to this video. This video basically is about North London. It's about Skepta, Wretch, and Avelino. You know what I mean? It's called Once Upon a Time in North London. Y'all already know, man. I'm trying to push, make sure everybody learn about everywhere, you know, all the artists, you know what I mean, where they from. You know, just try to bring the culture to the States a little more. So we're going to get into this real quick. This Once Upon a Time in North London.
Tottenham is like where my attitude is from. Whenever I think how I should handle the situation, I think how would a Tottenham boy handle it?
Tottenham is the place that I will always have in my brain as the start of my journey as a human.
Tottenham represents originality. It represents me as I represent it.
Tottenham means everything to me. Tottenham is a place that's been through its difficulties. It's also a place that, because of those difficulties, has thrown up some amazing characters, thrown up lots of creativity. Tottenham's a bit of a melting pot and it bubbles over sometimes, but Tottenham's definitely home.
Shout out Tottenham. Y'all already know I always be asking where people like the most. North London, South, East, West. You know me. I rock with Enfield, which is also North London. You know what I mean? A lot of people, you know, rock with the East, you know, Hackney and all that. But shout out Tottenham. Let's keep it going.
Anybody who knows Tottenham will know that there is a very, very strong community.
Back in the 70s, our parents came here really expectant, and we feel that we were failed by the education system that wasn't ready for us. As a result of that, we've become very resistant and resilient. So we've come together as a community to support and help each other.
Now, what I do know is, you know, I have this conversation a lot with my people in the UK is a lot of people are second generation, you know, British people, meaning like a lot of people in America, you know, our parents probably came, like our grandparents or great-grandparents or their parents, or a lot of people in the UK, like their parents literally was the first to come over to England, you know what I mean? So, you know, when they talk about like in the 70s, their parents came, it's fairly new, you know what I mean, as far as like the Caribbean and like the African, influence, you know what I mean, in the UK is fairly new. Like it's not like America where it dates back, you know, 1700s, 1800s. Well, let's keep it going.
The community spirit is second to none. Like we literally go through each other's pain and each other's joy.
Community, wherever around the world, is important because community is strength.
Right from the beginning, it was very, very clear that there was quite a lot of talent in Tottenham.
Real quick, not to cut them off, so they're showing Skepta, Wretch, and Avelino's from Tottenham, right? I want to say Frisco from Tottenham too, but to people that don't know, Adele, you know, she's from there also, you know what I mean? Which is a big deal to me, like Adele being from there. Because a lot of people in America, we probably look at Adele like she's from this super posh, super like, you know, this place, like we look at Adele like she's probably from like Fifth Avenue, where Adele, you know, she grew up not too far from where Skepta grew up, you know what I mean?
Talent which, if helped and nurtured, could go very, very far.
The arts and creativity around here is very rich. We all know Boy Better Knows from Tottenham, Wretch 3-2.
And we've always been a musical environment. We used to be really well known for reggae music and festivals.
Right from beginning, Collage Arts could see there were lots and lots of young people who wanted to be involved in music, but there were just no resources that supported what they were trying to do. The whole idea of the Selby Centre was very much to bring in community organisations that were dealing with the community directly.
These are the centres, the hubs that cherish and nurture talent in ways that the education system and the local authorities certainly don't.
Selby Centre was a place where we could hang out. It was important that that was there because who knows what we would have been doing if it wasn't there. And
yo, who been to the Selby Centre? Who watching right now been there? Don't be lying in the comments. Let me know if y'all really been there, you know what I mean? Like, and who learned how to do anything, play an instrument, do anything up in there, let me know.
There were so many activities, so many events that happened there. It was an important place for us to be able to exist as young people.
What was very clear from the young people was the kind of music that they really wanted to push. So it was very much drum and bass and garage and things like that. And it wasn't the traditional things that they would have to do if they went to a university. So again, that made a huge difference, that they were actually able to come and experiment with whatever they wanted to. And that really opened up a huge amount of creativity.
A lot of the younger ones who are coming up, they weren't born into homes where there was a ready-made pathway into universities and such. So what it's meant is young people coming together and finding their own platform.
I feel like we were so into technology, so into using what we had around us to create happiness in whatever way we could, that music was almost the lifeline that ran through all of those things.
Would you guys say Tottenham has, because you know Newham to me is mad artists from Newham too. You know, shout out Newham. Would you say Tottenham has the most successful artists to come out of there? Would you say Newham? Would you say Peckham has a lot also? I know Peckham has a lot. Some Newham artists would be like Kano, J Hus. I know some people might not count it, but 21 Savage, you know, do you guys want to count him as being a Newham artist and, you know, a talented artist come out of there? I would count it if he was born and raised there a little bit, but it's up to y'all. I know Gigs, you know, we got mad people that came up out of Peckham also, but the list that's in Tottenham is kind of serious to me, you know? And if I'm not mistaken, is Chip... Where's Chip from? Is Chip from Tottenham? I know Chip is from North also. Is Chip from Tottenham? Let me know.
Remember, we've been making music from Tottenham going back to the 80s. Now you hear a harder kind of music, telling the stories of the street. And that's because of the lifestyles of those young musicians. It's because of the environment that they were born in.
Born as a hero. You know, I got love for my people. You know, I shed blood for my people. Because round there, good over evil.
Yeah, there's a lot of press people in Tottenham, but people in Tottenham also know how to turn pain into triumph. So a lot of the pain we see, we just use it either put into lyrics, sports, any sort of way to make the best use of pain.
Who's considered the dopest, or who's considered the biggest dude out of Tottenham too? And what I like about the song with him and Rocky, with Skepta and Rocky, I like how they went from Harlem to Tottenham. I thought that was dope how they showed both sides, you know what I mean? You know, Harlem, our hoods over here, you know what I mean? And Tottenham, you know, they hoods over there.
Pain's a good catalyst for creativity.
It's organic. There was nothing else that was ever going to come out of my house. We were creative, we didn't have loads of money, and we used to always create with what we had in front of us.
I feel like in inner city areas around the world, our art form, hip-hop, grime, inspiration comes from struggle, and it's something that we all share, can all relate to, and all draw from.
I'm old enough to remember the original pirate stations. And we had those pirate stations to listen to reggae music, because reggae music was coming from the Caribbean, and we couldn't hear it on mainstream radio stations.
I need people in the comments to really break down the whole pirate movement, because people been telling me about it. It sent me something to watch too. But the whole pirate movement seems like it's a big deal. I know, especially when we talk about garage or garage, you know how we say it out here, in early grime. So yeah, let me know about the pirate stations, you know what I mean? Let's I want to have that on the channel, you know what I mean? Showing something, breaking it down to people that don't know.
So the pirate stations started to provide a community service by letting us hear the music, but not just hear the music, also talk about the music. And there's no doubt whatsoever that that would have inspired these young people. So the creation of the pirates was really a kind of conduit to building capacity for people to be able to come out with the kind of music the mainstream radio stations are now chasing after.
EFM was a very specific type of platform where freedom of expression was allowed. Many people will...
Let's shout out this Chris J. So they saying Heat FM was one of the pirate stations too. Let's shout out Chris J, man. Something else I do want to say is this. You know, on my channel, when I go live, sometimes people always be like, oh, you the new Channel U, Channel U. I don't really know too much about Channel U. Somebody break down Channel U to me too in the comments, because I hear it a lot. But let me know what it is. Let's keep it going though.
Tried to dispute, but those who know tell you that that's where they feel grime started, in a flat in Tottenham. That's where the birth of it was.
I just remember that Heat FM was always this place where there was some kind of issue to get in. Like, oh yeah, you gotta climb this fence to get in. Or yeah, there's a dog and you have to outrun this dog to get in.
This was the first door that we popped. Heat FM. Yeah. The first one. We've done it in practically all of these doors at some point. A lot of moving around and a lot of wire. But yeah, man, we made it happen. It was something that was real deep for me, to the point where I even got the frequency digits tattooed on my neck. So, you know, it was a lot, man. It was a good time.
If I can't get a show today or a club, I'm gonna go and do a show in a car park. I didn't know that style until getting into pirate radio, of just doing.
I mean, we weren't the first pirate radio station by any stretch of the imagination, but I think we were the first to open the doors to the youngsters the way that we did. There wasn't a platform.
Would you guys give them, shout out, I see Scorch in the back, would you guys give him the credit of being one of the people that was there at the beginning of grime? Would you guys in the comments say that? Let me know.
For them. So when this came along, the abundance of talent came out the woodwork.
Junior and Jamie liked music, and it was them talking about this guy called Wiley, who was like, men saying, yeah, he does this and he does that, and we've got our own version of it over here.
These man just had bars all the time. They were just always ready and it was competitive. That stuff's legendary.
Heat FM's like Radio 1 to us. And it's embedded in the culture and it's part of our journey.
It was our way of creating something in an unorthodox way that we didn't know would end up being what it was, but just being passionate enough about something to just do it.
Is she someone, the girl that keeps talking? I didn't get her name in the beginning, but is she an artist or is she one of the pioneers also? Let me know.
Platform, it was just there, man. There was no holds barred with it. You could come, you could do your show, and it was good because you had everyone from every different area. You'd have Dizzy and Tinchy, and you had brothers coming from east, passing guys from north, and they would spud each other, and they would just be like, that set was sick.
I think it's very similar to street art, or just jumping on a roof and finding somewhere to put your stuff and just hoping whoever sees it is gonna like it or hate it. You want a reaction. You know, if it doesn't have a reaction, then that's a fail.
And when Skepta first started, his name was Sniper, I think it was, and they called themselves the Terror Squad, but we had a Terror Squad on here, and we had a sniper. So there was a bit of a discussion about that. I remember he said, Scepter. Yeah, Scepter. And I was like, ain't that thing that Splinter holds in Ninja Turtles? And the room kind of giggled, you know what I mean? And he went, oh, fuck it, Skepta. And, you know, everyone kind of looked at each other and was like, what's a Skepta? 16 years down the line, a lot of hard work. We all know what a Skepta is now, innit?
Word, shout out Skepta. What I will say is, in America, we had this conversation a lot on the channel. Whose name rings the most bells in America? What I will say is Skepta might be the artist that name ring the most bells in America, where I think personally the most Americans hear Skepta and identify with it. You know what I mean? As far as I think Stormzy's right after. I think Stormzy kind of like, you know, he's racing right behind, but I do think Skepta is number one. Even though in the UK, I don't know if Skepta is considered the biggest artist, but I think in America, like he's done enough features. I think he's been out here enough. You know what I mean? But yo, that's dope when you hear how people's names come about too. You know what I mean? Like that's dope. Like just to see my man right there, he was there for the beginning when Skepta was called something else, and then he was like, this, that, and they came to the Skepta, you know, and now, you know, we all know Skepta, you know what I mean?
It's important for anybody who finds success to show other people where to find it.
To actually see role models that are succeeding, actually in their community, giving them the access to talk to them, so important.
Tottenham's definitely a strong part of my foundation, man. So to see people coming through and doing good, like when we're crying, we're shedding tears together, and when everyone's succeeding, we're succeeding together.
Wherever you're from, you should just know that whatever you do, it might not feel normal.
Shout out Chip. To the people new to the channel, y'all don't know, Chip is the first dude I heard to spit grime. Chip is the first dude. I always repeat it because, like I said, sometimes I might have ran into grime from another artist, and it might not have been that interesting to me probably if I wasn't interested in that artist. But Chip made me like start doing research and start checking it out. And you know what I mean? It's been years now. You know what I mean? Like it's been years. Like I've been following this whole UK scene for years. Like before, when I was telling people about it, people didn't know what a grime was, you know what I mean? Like, people didn't even, I'm talking about 2011, 2012, like, people didn't know what I was talking about. But I was putting people on, you know what I mean? Putting people on. But it's because of Chip, you know what I mean? I didn't hear Kano first, you know, Kano is probably, like, considered my favorite artist. You know, Chip's the first dude. The Chip, you know, Wiley was there too, but he didn't rap. It was Chip, Wiley, and Ice Kid. You know what I mean? That freestyle at Tim Westwood, it's the first thing I ever heard, and from there, I just started searching, you know what I mean? But let's get back to it. And shout out Kano, too.
time. But at some point down the line, as I sit here 15 years from living in Tottenham, this just seems normal to me now.
It's telling people that as long as you have the inspiration and the motivation and the dedication to apply yourself, anything in this world is possible.
I want everybody in that class to leave feeling like themselves. There's many different people and styles. I want them to come out and understand that in the midst of all these different styles, you can be yourself, and that's where the success lies.
We're strong and we're proud to be here, and we want to stay here, and we want to teach people that where there's adversity, there's also positivity. Where there's negativity, there's also creativity. We have here something that isn't felt in many other places of London. You won't find community in Chelsea. You won't find community in Knightsbridge. But here, you'll find a community. You walk around, you'll see it.
There is a huge movement out there which is finally sort of beginning to see the importance of creativity. What now needs to happen is that needs to translate into some real resources. What you need to do is you need to do things locally.
Everything that becomes big and great and grand, keep it here, share the love. That way the community can say the same thing about their own, and they get stronger and stronger, and they can move forward together as people.
Our pillars in the community have to stay being pillars and doing the right thing. That's what's going to help almost water the seeds and nurture everyone. That's what's going to continue the cycle.
If I had a hat on today, I'll take off my hat to Wretch, to Chipmunk and to Skepta. I'll say keep on doing what you're doing, but keep on coming back and keep on talking to those young ones and keep on giving them inspiration. You've done it because you're part of us. Share it with others and make the...
Yeah, that was real dope. I ain't even gonna lie, man. Yo, this is one of my favorite joints I've ever done. It makes me learn, you know what I mean? I can also teach while I'm learning. Yo, when y'all see any like articles or documentaries, anything like this that can put, you know, teach us out here in America about, you know, anything in the UK, period. It could be in Manchester, it could be Birmingham. Yo, let me know in the comments, you know what I mean? I'm definitely gonna start covering more of these because like I said, more about spreading awareness, you know what I mean? Covering the songs is dope and all, but we gotta start spreading awareness from the root, you know what I mean, from where people from, so everybody can understand what's going on, you know what I mean? Everybody can't get on a plane and you know what I mean, like go down there and now when people go on a plane, they got a place they can go. Hopefully some people that watch this from America can, you know what I mean, see what Tottenham is like and go down there and speak like, yo, you know, I watched this documentary on you guys, you know what I mean? It was dope. You know, now I'm not just gonna be in Chelsea or in Hyde Park or, you know, Kensington, you know? I'm gonna know about Tottenham. So, you know, we want to do one on Newham, Peckham, Streatham, Croydon, you know, the whole nine. Other than that, man, yo, let's do the shout out. We shout out my man Izzy, Anthony Izzy, watching from the UK. And I'm gonna see y'all on the next one, all right? Peace.